Mangalacharan. Kasturi Tilakam Lalada Bhalage Vakshasthale Kaustubham Nasagre Navamauktikam Karatale Venum Kare Kanganam Sarvange Harichandanam Chakalayan Kandecha Muktavali Gopastri Pariveshtito Gopastri Pariveshtito Vijayate Gopala Gopala Chodamani. Today I am presenting a paper on contribution of Lilavati to Prosody. Now I am just reading my paper. Lilavati, a treatise on mathematics, is written by Bhaskara900, who lived in 12th century AD. Besides explaining the details of mathematical concepts that were in existence up to that period, the text introduces some new mathematical concepts. This paper is an attempt to analyze the meters employed in Lilavati as well as the concepts of permutation and combination introduced by the author in the same text. Meters in the text Lilavati. First of all, I give some small introduction to the prosody. Then after I starting about the meters employed by Bhaskara. In poetry, meter has a significant role to contribute the emotive aspect. The spontaneous outpour of emotion always happens through a suitable meter that is revealed in the mind of the poet at the time of literary creation. Rhythm itself is the life of the meter as it transfuses the emotion. Varied compositions of diversified rhythms, which are innumerable, give birth to different meters in poetry. Early poeticians like Bhamaha, Dandin, Vamana, Rudrada and Rajshekara have stated that erudition in prosody is essential for making poetical composition. In Vedic period, the skill of Vedic rishis in handling the language and meter for expressing their ideas is also equally attractive. The meters used are well suited to the types of poetry, the ideas expressed in them and the content exposed. At the time of Natya Shastra, Bharata, who has a good insight on the relation between the rhythmic scheme of meter and sentiment, says, Chando hino na shabdosti, na chandaha shabda orjidam. The three terms, Chandas, Vrittam and Jadi, are seen profusely used in Sanskrit prosody. Among them, Chandas and Vrittam, though they are used as synonyms, have separate meanings in the prosody. That is, Chando Manjari Gangadasa says that Vrittam Akshara Sangyadam Jadir Matra Krida Bhaved Aksharair Ganana Yatra Tad Vrittam Idikatyade Matra Abir Ganana Yatra Sa Jadir Abhidiyade. So we can clearly we can see the a distinctive variation in the concept of Vrittam and Jadi. Halayuda, while commenting on the aphorim, Vrittam says that the classical meter is called Vrittam as it existed in the Vedic meters like Gayatri. Gayatri Yadav, Chandasi, Vartada Idi Vrittam, Tacha, Sthira, Guru, Leggu, Akshara, Vinyasa, Mishyade. Abhinav Gupta give a different derivation to the term Vrittam. Guru Leghu Niyamena Shrevyada Vartade Yeshutani Vrittani Shrevyarthatwad. Here, it is implied that though so many meters or vrittas can be derived from each chandas, those which are pleasing to hear by the laws of gurus and legus only can be actually considered as vrittas. Now I am entering the text Lilavati and the meters employed by Bhaskara. प्रीतिं भक्तजनस्य यो जनयदे विघ्नं विनिघ्नं स्मृत तं वृन्दारगवृन्दवन्दितपदं नत्वा मदङ्गाननं पाडिं सद्गणितस्य वच्मि चतुरप्रीतिप्रदां प्रस्फुटां संक्षिप्ताक्षरकोमलामलपदेर्लालित्यलीलावतीम्. In the last line of the above mentioned benedictory verse, the author reveals that Lilavati is a composition made concise and simple with the charming words. In this verse, the 19-syllabled meter Shardula Vikridita is used. The beautiful rhythm of this meter is flexible and adaptable to depict wide varieties of emotions. Kshemendra in Suvrta Tilaga says that Shardula Vikridita is highly suitable for solemn compositions like prayers and mystical meditations, and it is also very much effective in depicting heroism. Shauryastavon Nribadinam Shardula Kredidam Madam. In the benedictory verse of the first subchapter, the meter employed is Anushtup. Leelagalalulalola Kalavyala Vilasine Ganeshaya Namo Neelakamala Malakandaye. In Sanskrit literary world, it is generally accepted that the meter Anushtup is highly suitable for beginning Sargabandha as well as abridging long stories. Kshemendra is of the view that Anushtup is also useful for advising on the matters relating to Shama. It might be because of this quality that Acharya made use of Anushtup for Karana Sutras. Besides Anushtup, the author has employed various other meters like Indravajra, Ubendravajra and Ubajadi, all of which are included in the 11-syllabled Chandas, Trishtup. Among them, Ubajadis evolved from the combination of Indravajra and Ubendravajra. From the early period itself, prosodists have made rigorous work to find out the number of various patterns, and all the possible occurrences have been listed. By changing the positions of Indravajra and Ubendravajra in a 4-lined verse, Pingala has accepted 14 possible patterns of Ubajadi meter and also given names. Here, the foot 1 and foot 2. If there is Indravajra, that is named as Kriti. And only the first line, only Indravajra, and the rest lines are in Ubendravajra, that is Vani. Then 14 varieties of Ubajadis are employed in all type of kavyas, and in Lilavati also we can see such varieties. For illustrations, I am giving some examples. In Karna Sutra 1, which begins with the words Varadaganam Dashagadvayam Yat, the Ubajadi meter is Rama. Here, the first and fourth lines are in Ubendravajra. And in Karna Sutra 14, which is beginning with the words Dvidha Bhave Dhruva Vibhaga Eva, the Ubajadi is Ardra. Here, the first line only is in Ubendravajra. And in Karna Sutra 15, where the first verse Bhajya Dhara Shuddha Yadit Gunasyad, the meter is Prema. Here, the third line only is in Ubendravajra. So, in the fourth example, start with Moolam Chadurnam Cha Tadhanavanam, the meter is Prema. Here is also we can find out such varieties. Thus, the author has employed various types of Ubajadis for Karna Sutras and example verses. The verses cited as examples reveal the poetic skill of the author. The meter Shraddhara, which is included in Prakriti group and which is composed by 7 trisyllabic ganas, is profusely used by the author. In medieval age, it is accepted as one of the foremost among the longer meters. Katyayana, one of the earliest author on prosody, has stated that this meter is much appropriate to depict Veera. Veerasya Bhujadandanam Varnane Shraddhara Madha. The example verses given below reveals the multifaceted poetic genius of Bhaskara900. Sardham Pradat Prayage. In Kerala, the verses will recite in this way. Sardham Pradat Prayage Navalavayugalam Yo Vasheshachakasyam Sheshangrishulkakhedo പതിദശമലവൻ ഷഡ്ശേഷാദ്ഗയായാം ശിഷ്ടാ നിഷ്കത്രിഷഷ്ടി നിജഗൃഹമനയാ തീർത്ഥപാന്ഥപ്രയാത തസ്യ ദ്രവ്യപ്രമാണം വദയതി ഭവതാ ശേഷജാതി ശ്രുതാസ്തി. So many examples are I have taken. Then Sharduli Vikreda, which is used in benedictory words, is seen employed profusely in the text. Partha Karnavadaya Marganaganam Krudhorane Sandade Tasyardhena Nivarya Tacharagunam Molascha Durbihayan Shalyam Shadbhiradeshubi Tribhirabichhatram Dvajam Karmugam Chichedasya Shira Sharena Kaditeya Narjuna Sandhade. Here, the author portrays the terrific scenes from battlefield and the sentiment Veera is enhanced in this description. The rhythm and melody are closely related. Another meter employed by the poet is Shigarini. Aye bale Lilavati madi madi bruhi sahidan panja dvatrim chatrinavati shadashta dasha dasha Chado vedane dana yuda viyudamscha vadame yadi vyakde yukti vyavagalana marge sikusalaha. The meter Malini. Amala Gamala Rashirtramsha Panjamsha Shashtaihi Trinanayana Hari Surya Yena Turyena Charya Guru Padamadha Shadbi Pujidam Shesha Patmehi Sagala Kamala Sangyam Shipramakya Kitasya. The meter Druda Vilambida Navaganam Trighanasya Ghanam Tada Kadhaya Panjaganasya Ghanam Jame Ghanabadam Chadado Bighanat Sake Yedi Ghane Ghana Bhavato Madi. Mitra Vasanda Dilaga Mase Shadasya Yedi Panjakalandaram Syat Varshe Shade Bhavadi Kimbada Shodashanam Kalam Tada Kalaya Mula Kalandarabhyam Mulam Gandhanam Ganaga Kala Bhale Viditwa. Thus, the poetic imagination and scholarship in Shastra goes hand in hand in this Shastra Gavya. Mahima Bhatta has realized the rhythmic nature and potentiality of meter in communicating the emotive element in poetry. So, he includes meter among the Shabdalangaras like Yamaga and Anuprasa. Adayeva Yamaganuprasayoriva Vratasyavi Shabdalangaratum Abhibagadam Asmabihi. The above concept advocated by Mahima Bhatta is consistent with the compositions in Lilavati, where the Shabdalangaras like Yamaga and Anuprasa go in hand with all meters. These rhythmic compositions make the learners more interested in further studies. Another example. Karpurasya varasya nishkayugale yegam palam prapyade Vaishyanandana chandanasya jabalam drahmashtabhagena chet ashtam shena tadagaro paladalam nishkena me dehidan bhageirekaka shodashashtagamidirdhubam chigirshamyaham. Then now I am coming the next topic, that is permutation. In Sanskrit, the word prastara is used for permutation. Prastara means strowing or spreading out. Prastaranam vidananam. In music, and musical instruments, the prastaras are used in the elucidation of rhythm. In prosody, this is a mathematical calculation that declares the possible number of meters in a chandas. Pingala and Bharada have discussed two types of prastaras, namely Matragada and Varnagada. Most of the later writers described only the second type. The process of prastara is as follows. Write all the syllables in a quarter line according to metrical scale. That is to be made the subject of prastara in gurus. This is the first prastara of the metric scale with Sarva Guru. Then write the first line, changing only the first guru into Legu. Then the second prastara is formed. The process may be in the same manner, filling up the left side of the changed Legu with gurus. The right side should be the same as in the line just above. This continues until all the syllables in the line become laghus. The process ends here and all the possible patterns in that metrical scale become explicit. For example, you look at the slide. Then this is given for the meter of Anushtup, and this is continue till 256 types, varieties. This is a starting. I am giving, for instance, I am giving 12 numbers. In this way, the 8 ganas are the permutation of 3 syllables. This is also a permutation of 3 syllables. Now we are using that as 8 ganas in Prosody. In Lilavati, mathematical concepts related to meters also have been discussed. In the 10th subchapter entitled Chandas Chityadi, the author has introduced mathematical formula for calculating the permutations of meters. In the 57th and 58th Karna Sutra, Padaksharamida Gache, Gunavarga Phalam Chaye Dvigune, Samavrutanam Sankhya, Tadvargo, Varga Vargascha, Swaswa Padono, Siadam Ardha Samanam cha Samanam cha Vishamanam. The author states how to arrive at the possible number of permutation in Sama, Ardha Sama, and Vishama meters. The number of syllables in a line is named as Gacha. Padaksharamida Gache. For example, 256 prastaras from Anushtup. Then next, from this Karna Sutra, he gives, and next, how we can find out the the number of meters with the number of gurus and laghus. How we can find out. Next one. And this is also the mathematical procedures. Then, since he gives the Gayatri Prastara. And it, then Meru Prastara, that is another one. I have prepared, but no time. The Bharadam by Pingala, in his text Chanda Sutra, at last he is giving one sutra, Pare Purnamidi. In that sutra, he gives the details about Meru Prastara. The Halayuda gives the details of Meru Prastara. Now that is known as Pascal's triangle. Nowadays that is known as Pascal's triangle. And the next one. That's the Pascal's triangle. And we can do that as the same. The Pascal's triangle is same as the Meru Prastara, and we can define that with the binomial theorem. Hello, that is very clear to all. And then I am concluding my paper. Yes, reading. My concluding portion I will read. So, 2 lines, sir, please. By referring to the mathematical concepts put forth by Pingala, Bhaskara900 pays tribute to the preceptors. The syntagm of words seen in Karna Sutras and example verses amply reveal the poetic genius and erudition of the author. The rhythmic harmony of the syllables employed in the meters helps to communicate the emotive elements marvelously. The presence of Shabdalangaras like Anuprasa and Yamaga enhances the melodious structure of the Lilavati. Bhaskara900's deep knowledge on metrical and mathematical concepts like Prastara, Samyojita and Meru Prastara makes the text Lilavati unique in the field of mathematics. This is no doubt that the text Lilavati is a good read to scholarly people as well as ordinary learners. Thank you.
Thank you very much for beautiful rendering of shlokas. Particularly, your Mangalacharana is my favorite Mangalacharana from Krishna Karnamrita. We wish we had the chance to let you recite the whole Lilavati. That would have been nice, maybe for some future occasion you should consider such a program. But now coming to the question, you raised some interesting points, but first of all about your title of the paper. Now, Bhaskaracharya used many meters, but he did not make any contribution to prosody. Contributions to prosody was made by Pingalacharya, Kedar Bhatta, etc. Just as Bhaskaracharya used Sanskrit language beautifully, he did not make any contribution to Vyakarana. So similarly, he did not make any contribution. An interesting point which you raised was you quoted Kshemendra and Mahimabhatta to say when a particular meter should be used, according to the context, according to the emotive power. But then I don't know if that has been established quite correctly. Once we were trying to judge poetry according to Kshamendra's rules, then we found that even Mandakranta can't be used as Kalidasa used. So that is a thing one has to decide. Then also, there was a question once raised, can different meters be recited in different ragas? I don't know if any decision was taken or if there is any convention developed in Tamil Nadu or Karnataka, anywhere. That's a question one has to decide also. But I should say once again, thank you for the rendering of the poems.
Have you noted down how many verses have been composed in which meters?
I have listed that, but today I have no time to present that. So.
Oh, you have made a listing.
Yeah.
Okay. Fine.
Can you say which is Bhaskara's favorite?
Srakdara. I feel that is Srakdara.
No. Which is the most frequently used meter?
Srakdara. That's like.
I don't think you do that much.
Sorry. Yeah.
That is possible.
Shardula Vikrita is very frequent, but I feel that one of the nice verses of Bhaskara are done in Malini.
Galandi Shambho Twacharida Sarida Kilbisharjo Dalandi Dhigulya Saranishu Padandi Vijayadam Dishanti Samsara Brahmana Paridabhoba Shamanam Vasandi Machedo Hrada Bhuvi Shivananda Lahari.